Apata by ROSÉ and Bruno Mars hit 1 billion views in 3 months. And here's how the editing helped it go viral. Lately, mixed media and collages, a more organic feel has become a lot more popular, as opposed to this very straight line digital feel. And oftentimes, tangible things like paper, film, and hand-drawn animations are what gives that warm, organic feel. My name is Jordan Orm. I'm a professional video editor for artists like Justin Bieber, brands like Nike and Google, and I love to talk about the art form of editing on YouTube. It's so fun. And today I'll show you how to bring some of that Apata magic to your own edits. Apata as a song is fun, it's about a game, and it's also a play on words for the abbreviation of an apartment. And apartments kind of give this organic, lived in, youthful vibe to it. So we want to bring that feeling through those organic assets into this edit. We don't want it to feel digital, we want it to feel lived in and fun. So we're gonna recreate the hand-drawn animations, film look, and paper cutouts from this viral music video. And the best part is these techniques are actually pretty simple to do yourself thanks to Artlist. Artlist has just introduced some amazing tools that help out. If you head to their website and go to tools, there's 3 new tools that really help streamline everything, and I'll go over them more in detail in the video. But there's the Artlist library extension, there's the AI Assistant, and lastly, there's professional plugins that you can use with your favorite editing software. All of this just enhances our creative workflow and makes everything way easier. Thank you, Artlist. One of the biggest trademark aspects of this music video are these hand-drawn animations. They feel fun, lively, organic, because it actually looks like little doodles that we drew personally with our hands. And you could actually draw them with your hands and scan them in and then animate them, and it takes forever. It's horrible. But we can actually make this so much easier using elements that already exist from Artlist. So first, just head to artlist.io, click Templates, and type in hand-drawn animations. My favorite one is the hand-drawn sticker pack. So go ahead and just click download and then select your software of preference. I'm going to be using Premiere Pro. After Effects scares me. It really does. Navigate to Finder, open up the downloaded project, and you'll see a bunch of sequences of all kinds of animations. All you have to do is take the nested sequence, click and drag them over, and you're good to go. I'm gonna cut down the music video and find a little section that doesn't have hand-drawn animations so we can add our own. The idea is we wanna emphasize any movement or sound as if it was a graphic novel per se. So since he's playing the guitar right here, we don't actually have any graphic novel elements showing the sound coming out of the guitar. So I'm gonna put that little explosion over the guitar to make it feel like there's sound exploding out of it. I like to also duplicate the animation and then reverse it so it smoothly animates in and out instead of just cutting off at the end. I'm gonna take this little squiggle and have it push her across the screen. Bruno Mars is a king, so we have to give him a crown. So all the animations are yellow and we want to match the color palette of the song. So next we just have to change the color and add some effects to make it blend in with the original feel and look of the video. First up, let's change the color. All you have to do is click on the nested sequence, scroll down in your effects controls, and you can adjust the color to whatever you want. We're gonna do a light gray. So let's go through all of our elements, change the color, and then in order to make it look like the original, we need to add a few effects over all of the animations. So highlight all the animations, nest them, and then go ahead and duplicate them. On the bottom nest, we're gonna add a slight drop shadow. So go to Effects, drag the drop shadow on there. And then on the top one, we're going to add a glow. So add a Gaussian blur, and then set the blend mode to screen. It's gonna create a little filmic glow, which gives a dreamy effect. And if you don't want that digital hard line, duplicating your element and then adding a glow on the blend mode of screen is gonna help so much. I'm gonna throw up a little side by side to compare the original music video to our music video. They're not gonna be perfectly the same, but it's so easy to get a similar look, a similar vibe, feel for your story with Artlist. Not too bad, not too bad. Now that we've added that fun, nostalgic, doodly, handwritten vibe, let's move on to this vintage film look that gives the whole piece that nostalgic charm. Now I'm really excited about this because it allows us to use the Artlist plugins. So if you don't know how to get the plugins, you head to Artlist, click on Tools, scroll down to your professional plugins and click Install Now. Artlist Hub will start to download, open it up, and here's what you'll see. Your library, AI Assistant, which we'll go over later as a bonus at the end of the video, and then plugins. Look at all this stuff. Oh, it's good. Since our ROSÉ video already has film grain on it, we're not gonna be able to recreate it or demonstrate it, so I'm going to download a new video from Artlist, Pink Studio. How convenient. This shot is pretty fun. Hit download. We are going to use the staff pick film grain, baby. Once we install the plugins, all you have to do is go to Effects, Artlist Grunge, Film Grain. Let's drag it to our clip. Check out our effect controls. We have a few different presets. The Bruno Mars Rosé music video feels like 16mm to me, so we're gonna go for that. We can turn up our grain strength. Actually, I kind of like 35mm, but just turn it up a little bit. It even adds a little flicker, which is very reminiscent of film. It looks great. Now, one thing that I do want to add, a huge attribute of real scan film, is these little tiny white dots, these little dust particles. To add that detail, let's head back to the website. Type in film overlay, and then let's take this little 9-second shot. Let's give that a download, drag it on top of our footage. We're gonna just upscale it so it fills the entire frame, and then change the blend mode to lighten. It gives us little tiny flashes every once in a while. That's pretty good. All right, now what else can you do? Remember I told you that little glow trick to add softness to your footage? Let's apply that again here. So we're just going to duplicate the shot, head to Effects, search up Gaussian blur, and add that to our shot. Turn up the blurriness to about 25, and then change the entire blend mode to lighten. You probably wanna put the opacity to something like 40%. If you just do a little before and after, you can see the tiny bit of glow that adds. It really helps it feel like film. Also, really quickly, I wanna tell you about the Artlist library extension, which is pretty much my favorite thing ever. I absolutely love it. Again, you can go to Artlist Online, go to Tools, and install the Artlist library extension for Premiere Pro. Once it's installed, you head to Window, Extensions, and go ahead and click Artlist Library. And it's going to open up a little panel right here. It's the most beautiful panel ever. It's gorgeous. Inside you have music, sound effects, voiceover, footage. So what if we want to add some sound effects, some film texture? Let's search up film inside of Premiere. Have a little listen. Okay, not too bad. I like this first one. Now check this out. All you have to do, click and drag the sound effect into your shot and it'll automatically download it and put the file right inside of your project automatically. Maybe let's just replace the music. You can change the mood. Let's do happy and maybe like a little bit of a rock vibe. Also, a huge advantage of the Artlist library is synonymously playing both the music and the timeline so you can preview how the song feels in context. Just click timeline sync, and whenever you play the song, the timeline will also start playing. Again, click and drag, and boom, just like that, it's in the project. So let's check it out side by side and see how we did. I get a little too excited when I edit. Oh, by the way, if this is valuable, please let me know by liking and subscribing. It really helps us dive deeper into the art of video creation and editing, and ultimately help you out more too. Okay, we have our handwritten elements, we have our vintage vibe locked in. Now it's time to get out of Jordan's comfort zone. It's time to add in those playful paper cutouts that really make this edit stand out. Now, when I watch the edit, I feel like they actually did some After Effects magic. I'm an editor, not a motion graphic artist, which honestly makes me so thankful for things like Artlist that really help us people that don't really know what we're doing in After Effects out. So we're not gonna recreate the paper cutouts perfectly because of how intensive it actually is. Instead, we're gonna recreate something similar, letting Artlist help us out. All right, let's head back to Artlist. And we're gonna go into templates and type in paper cutouts. This effect is gonna lock us in. It's called the freeze frame collage grunge. So let's hit download and get started. We're gonna unzip the file and go ahead and open up the After Effects project. In this template, there's 9 different animations. We're gonna lock into the 4th one, add that to the intro of the music video because we wanna grab attention right off the bat. Now this looks overwhelming, but trust me, it's actually really easy. Click the edit drop-down menu, go to edit media freeze, and then all we have to do is add in our clip. Now there is a little marker here that says when it's gonna freeze frame, and I want the freeze frame to happen right when we see Bruno Mars and Rosé for the very first time. Slide it over until we get to that moment. And then the next step is to cut out the subjects. Now it's very easy. You just click on cutout. It even tells you what to do right here. Click on our clip. Click on the pen tool, and you can just cut it out. I think sometimes the rougher the better, because if you were actually cutting this out with scissors, you're not gonna make these really perfect cuts. And there we go. That's all it took. Now, the problem that we have is the colors do not match the vibe of the video whatsoever. So let's fix that. We're going to go to Edit Global Controls, click Effect Controls here, and then edit the effect controls. So now we can see that we have all of these colors. I mean, it's a cool palette, but it's kind of a mess. In Apت, all they have is pink, black, white, and gray. That's it. Very limited color palette. So that's what we're going to apply here. The best way to do this is to just go a few frames earlier and take the color palette directly from the video. Let's click our little dropper tool, pick some different pinks. Look at that palette. So now back to our big media freeze comp. Let's take a look at that. Oh, look at that. It fits perfectly, bro. Honestly, let's take a screenshot of the original APT logo and put it right here and just try it out. Text, delete that, screenshot, drag that in, shrink it a little bit. All right, let's look back at our big media freeze. Look at that. All right, so now let's export this comp and put it into Premiere to mess with the timing. And there's this little ripple in the beginning, which I don't love. So we're actually gonna cut that out. I like to put the top layer on about 50% opacity to move it until it matches up. All right, let's mess with the timing. I'm gonna speed it up 120%. Okay, so here it is with that little After Effects template. Game start. Bro, that literally took like 10 minutes. That's crazy. Now it's time for a little bonus. I know I teased this earlier, but we're gonna unveil the AI Assistant. There's a few things the AI Assistant does, like help with tedious tasks, like removing unwanted silences, which speeds up the editing process, and things like auto zoom, which we're gonna try out right now. To get the AI Assistant, just go to Window, Extensions, AI Assistant Beta, and we're gonna click on auto zoom. Okay, so the zoom effect analyzed the entire video and it just punches in on parts that it feels like needs to be emphasized. Now check this out. This is probably the climax of the song. Are you ready? And look what they did. So right on this climax of the song, it punches in, and when she's like super close to the camera, it just makes me feel like, ooh, okay, we're going somewhere. All right, so there you have it. We have the hand-drawn animations, which add a really nice handwritten organic feel to it. The film look, which is nostalgic, glowy, tactile. It doesn't have that harsh digital feel. And then lastly, the paper cutouts, which honestly adds so much youthfulness. Again, this tactile paper effect, you can really feel the texture. And it looks great. So try this out in your own edits. Let me know how it goes. And if you want to add this kind of fun and personality to your edits, definitely check out Artlist. I've linked all the assets and plugins that I used in the description. And if you found this helpful, hit that like and subscribe button for more editing breakdowns.